This video is about neuro-diving. It's a simple technique. It can be done in bed, in the gym, driving a car. It only takes a few minutes, and the effect on your life will be nothing less than remarkable. Right now, I'm going to dive into this lake, hold my breath, and concentrate on any emotion that I either want to build or tear down. So now that I'm in the lake, I'm going to hold a stress position. So I'm just going to arch my back, pull my toes towards me, pull my fingers backwards, stress my entire body as I'm holding my breath. Now, as the intensity of the discomfort builds, I'm going to concentrate on the emotion that I want to target. For this one, I'm just waking up, so I'm concentrating on my desire to be alive, to be free, to be at peace, to live life fully to the max. I'm up here in this beautiful country, in this lake, and it's a great time to share neuro-diving with you. About 2 weeks ago, I discovered a simple exercise that radically changed my life. I had been going through depression, probably 5 or 6 years, I'd say. Even then, I was in bouts of depression before that. But this was different. I had shut down. I couldn't even do banking. I would get so stressed. Just going online would cause me almost to panic and get anxious. My hands would shake. I was basically in my room, and to me life was over. I was just waiting to get close to death and just fade into the blackness. So those are very painful days, but they're gone now. A simple exercise, and I mean simple breathing exercise that you just witnessed right here, changed my life. And it didn't just change my life, it transformed it in such a way that it's made my whole life just something in the past that I can look back on. And I believe it will work for you. So the simple concept is that we change our memories when we remember things. So each time we remember something and we put it back, that memory changes. And they've discovered that that's why witnesses in court can often be unreliable, is because this changing memory. People can have false memories that they believe are very real. And when I understood that concept, I thought, well, if memories are changeable, then emotions are changeable, because they're simply just a neural connection within the brain. And traumatic events and all those emotions attached to those, they're also changeable. So I thought, if they're changeable, how could I impact those emotions? And I thought, well, I would have to basically create an event where I'm having positive emotions while I'm feeling the negative emotions of past traumatic events. And that's what I attempted to do. So the first attempt was simply to think of something negative in my past, and then feel it really intensely, then think of something positive, something good that made me feel good, and then sort of put those two memories together and sort of let them fade away back. So it was like repackaging that memory and adding positive stuff. So I did that in the first day, and I felt a bit better. It was kind of nice. It was like, yeah, I feel a bit more peaceful. So there was some benefit, but not a lot. So on the second day, I thought, well, let's up the ante on this, because I used to free dive, and I thought, well, if it's about the feeling of pain, I thought that when you release all your air in your body, and you're just screaming for oxygen, that's pain. So after you breathe, there's a kind of nice feeling there, like, you know, you're breathing air again. There's probably a feeling that comes from freediving. It's very intense, but when you're not breathing, you're in a heightened sense of awareness. Your entire body is alert. So I thought, number one, all my neurons are going to be firing at the max during this process, and any good feelings I feel when I'm now breathing, those feelings are going to be increased. So I thought, okay, I'll add that. And I thought, I'll add a stress position to that, increase the pain. So I put all that together and I did my first neuro-dive. And the result was nothing less than spectacular. I had an immediate sense of release and relaxation that was quite profound. So then I realized I could go through my life and look at all the things that bothered me. I had some people that had stolen from me. I had people that I got in business with that really messed me up badly, and they affected my life in profound ways for the negative. And plus I had carried a lot of stress from failures, some guilt. And so I just started going into every one of those emotions, bringing those emotions towards me as strongly as possible, feeling them to their maximum barrage within my soul, while I'm in a stress position with no oxygen. And then when I let go, I would just feel all those endorphins coming in because you're no longer stressed. So the endorphins would come in, and I just see that memory just fade into the distance. So the results of this were, I would say, beyond my wildest dreams. I've been a psychologist, I've been a counselor, I've tried the usual gauntlet of antidepressant drugs, and you try exercise, you try getting on a really good diet, you try being more social, but it's like you're always coming back to it. It's like you get out for a little bit, and it's like this black hole you're like climbing out of, and you're sliding back into this hole. So nothing could penetrate it. And the reason being is because depression is this neurological pattern in your brain. And every time something bad happens, it just is like, oh, it's number 366, 367. So it's always building. It's never diminishing. So if I'm in a depressed state and I think of a problem or something in the past, I think of that problem and I connect it with this depressed state, and then I put the when I no longer think about the problem, I've repackaged that problem. And when I've repackaged the problem, what I've done is I've made it worse. Next time I remember it, that memory's worse. I remember those things. So now all my stuff from my past is painfully traumatic. And so here's some of the changes that happened, and they were immediate. Number one, diet control. Without trying, I just felt more relaxed. I was eating, I guess, without compulsion. I've been fighting compulsion with eating. I was always overeat. I could never eat just one chocolate bar. I mean, if I ate ice cream, I'd eat like 4 bowls of it. And so eating like regular people is very difficult for me. And so I found that I was just relaxed when I was eating, and I didn't feel compulsed. I was like, there was no pressure on me. And so I just automatically started eating less. I decided not to eat after 4 o'clock and not drink after 4 o'clock. And that change was so easy, I didn't even try to do it. I just thought about it and just did it. It's like I now started eating like natural, more vegetables, more fruit, chewing my food more. But the change was I was just more relaxed with food. I just felt that my body was in control. Like as soon as I overate, my stomach immediately told me this is it. And this is too much food. I was eating like 4 pieces of broccoli and like feeling full. Tremendous. Second thing I noticed was I could stay in a state of kind of a blissful, kind of bubbly state where it's like you're at peace, you're grooving, you're not like happy, but nothing's coming in to take it away. Like you can really just be present in your environment. You can be here right now, and it's like for me, I can just be. I don't need to be around people. I don't need sound. I don't need music. I can just be. And that could be my room anywhere. It doesn't really matter. Out here it's amazing. Out of my brother's cottage. But for me, I can just be anywhere. So these changes have been dramatic in my life. I mean dramatic. The other thing I've seen differently is that now when I look at my past, there's nothing there. It's like before there's all these painful events, and it's like I didn't really want to go back there, even think about those things, because they really hurt me. And it's like, yeah, I ended up here because of all those events. But now it's like my past is my past. So the strange thing about this neuro-diving technique is how effective it is. Like, you don't have to do it like 50 times. If you've got a traumatic memory, it's once, it's gone. You go back to that memory after you've done one neuro-dive, you can still remember the memory, but there's no emotion attached to it. It's like it's blank. It's just, there's nothing there. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that happened. But I'm not like, oh yeah, I don't want to think, but that was horrible, how could that happen to me? So those are big changes, and so far in 10 days I've had a chance to show some people, and every one of them has come back to me and says, this really helped me. They felt more at peace, they felt more in touch with themselves, they felt more disciplined, they felt more, I guess this more centered would be probably, if I put all the descriptions that they told me into one word, I think it would be just feeling more centered, more balanced. And also my creativity increased. It's like I get ideas like really quickly all the time now. They're just popping in my head. And it's not like I'm more motivated, I'm just more productive. Like I don't feel the urgency to do stuff, but it's like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's best to do it the first time really when you're on a carpet and it's later at night, because you're going to feel really tired. I can do it right before bed. I'm talking right before I fall. In fact, I'm now using it to fall asleep because it's really effective to fall asleep. I'll do an exercise, hold my breath. I'll do a bit, maybe one or two of them in bed. And when I get that kind of groovy feeling, like it's like, oh yeah. And then I can just drift off to sleep. So, but I found that when I did it in the morning a few times, I'd do like 3 of them in the morning when I was first doing it. And especially if I did stuff in the past that was bothering me, I'd just get such a release, and I'd just be like, I get nothing done for that whole day because I was just so relaxed, and I just want to stay in that state and just be at peace and in the comfort zone. So, but now I do use it in the morning, and I use it differently. I kind of use it to wake up. So what I'll do in the morning, I'll do the same thing, a stress position, right? I'll just be in bed, and I'll just sort of wiggle before I wake up, I'll sort of wiggle my whole body. I'll just breathe and sort of stretch, and I'll hold my breath, and I'll pull my toes towards me, raise my feet up, put my arms back, and just put my hands out, and just like this. And I'll think the desire to live, the desire to be free. So I'll be like, oh my God, I want to live. I just want to be free. I want to be happy. I want to be peaceful. Oh, pound, 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 pound. You're like, I really want to live. I really want to be free. It's like really intense. And then I release, and it's like, oh yeah, oh, this is so good. It's like this peace comes over. This like even right now I'm getting really like zombied out. It's like
you are now ready for your first neuro dive. If you're sitting, just get as comfortable as you can, and if you're laying down, maybe get a little pillow for behind your head. So in the first process, you're going to look for something in your life that bothers you. It could be any emotion, any traumatic event. Okay, now once you have that, that is going to be your target. The second thing is you're going to enter into a stress position. Now the one I recommend is you lie on your back, you put your arms roughly above your head, lift them up off the floor, and stretch the backs of your hands towards you, like so your fingers are coming towards you, and that will stress your arms. Raise your feet off the ground, maybe 5-6 inches more if it's uncomfortable, and pull your toes towards you. Now your stomach's gonna tighten up, your arms are gonna be in tension. So this is gonna be your first stress position. So I want you to know that you're ready. Take 10 deep breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Big breath and hold. Enter into the stress position. Curl up your toes, arms above your head. Try to stretch, pull your fingers towards you. Feel that tension in your stomach. Hold your breath in that position. Now, choose that emotional target you want to eradicate. So when you're thinking about the emotion, just try to get it all over you. Try to make it as intense as possible. If it's something that hurt you, just dig in. If it's something that's an event, just pretend you're living that. Get as close to that event as possible and let those feelings run through your entire body. Accept the pain. Accept the pain of the emotion. Accept the pain of the lack of oxygen, and accept the pain of the stress condition. Just accept all of this pain and let it wash through you. Keep holding. It's going to get more intense. As your breath runs out, that emotion is going to build with the pain of the lack of oxygen. So just let it ride. You want to peak this so intensely. So I'll let you go. Peak it. Peak the emotional pain at the maximum point where you can hold your breath. Now when you breathe out, I want you to totally let go. Let go every tension in your body, and I want you to think of all the positive things in your life. It doesn't matter, just try to create a positive feeling. Just this warm, fuzzy, peaceful feeling of happiness. And once that's built, I want you to take that feeling and connect it to the painful memory. Just use that peaceful feeling and just connect that to your memory and just sort of let that memory fade into the distance. So you got this positive feeling, and it's like you're just pushing away this painful memory, this painful emotion, all these positive feelings. And it will fade and get further away, get further away. And now you're going to feel this state of drifting. So you just want to go with that state of drifting. This drifting can last a long time. It can last 20 minutes, 15 minutes. So you just want to have this really peaceful meditation music on, and you just want to follow that drift.